Hey guys, it's me, Jazzy J, back with something for the culture. Know it's been a little minute since I've been on here, but first off, let me go ahead and introduce my special guest. Let's start off with the legendary WU-TANG affiliate, none other than Killah Priest. Welcome.
Peace. What's good? What's good?
It's good. Welcome to the culture. And
Man.
then you know him to be a guest on him many times. He's not even a guest no more. He's damn near family. We got none other than Dr. Enqi back again with us. Welcome.
Peace, peace, peace. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
You just can't see me, huh?
Yeah, can't see you, but we hear you. So first off, let me just say to both of you guys, happy
Oh,
shout
what?
out. It's ODB Day.
Yeah. Right. Indeed. Oh man. Yeah, that's crazy. You killed me with that one. Yeah.
So I want to get a quick story from each of y'all. Just a quick, maybe a funny story or something that you remember of your time with Dirty. So, Killah, I'm gonna start with you.
Man, it was always it's a roller coaster of fun, man. It was just always something happening. Always something happening. I remember one time he came to the studio, he was bugging out. He was like, he came to the studio to my session to do a joint, and he just came with a whole bunch of like some Mexican dudes, and they were I don't know if they was hiding anything. He was talking about, they was calling him King Dirty. Word, word. Man, it was like he was moving around like that. They was
Uh-huh.
like on the whole, they was just moving around like that. I just thought that was wild.
All right, Enqi, what about you? Oh, we lost Enqi. Also, well, why we get him when we get him back? Also, to Cal, birthday is today. Is that correct? Am I not mistaken?
Who's it? Who Meth?
Yeah.
Nah, wouldn't be Meth's birthday today.
It's
Um,
not his birthday?
nah, I think Meth. I thought was Meth was a Pisces.
You're right. He sure is a Pisces.
Yeah.
He sure is.
Yeah.
So while we're waiting for Dr. Enqi, let's go ahead and talk about your podcast because you have your own show.
Yeah. Indeed.
And let me just tell you guys, he is very interesting on there. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you describe what your podcast is.
My podcast is basically free thinking, open conversations, discussions about in any and everything. Inky has been over there. We do cover health also. A lot of health conscious cat come through. So we have to let the guru of them all, Inky, Dr. Inky comes through. We have Hari. We have different vibes in there. So
Mhm.
and everybody's going in, and we have a lot of flat earthers come to my spot. It's just like a lot of flat earthers. Different backgrounds. My bad. Sorry.
No, you good.
Different backgrounds. Yeah. Very interesting. And that's it. We just drink tea, and I got into like the tea thing. We drink a
Mhm.
lot of tea, and we just sit back and we just kick it. That's all, basically.
Okay. So what kind of health advice could you give to some of your community, like myself and others that are watching?
Um, Let me see how would I say it? It's just like we have to be more health conscious, and just think a little bit deeper about it, and I think that we need to take walks into nature more, just take walks outside, get outside more, and do a little exercise like every day. Just do something, walk around, and I think it'll start building from there, start adding up on that level. It'll get you start activating, and then your mind start to activate, and then Next thing you know, you want something to help that out. You
Mhm.
know, once you start feeling good, you'll do good. You know what I mean?
So, what's your health regimen? Your own personal regimen that you something that you do daily for yourself?
I drink a lot. I drink a lot of tea, which
Okay.
means I drink a lot of water. I try to take in a lot of water. Um, I ride bikes a lot. I got into that, and it helps me think. You know, clears my mind and things of that. But a lot of liquids. A lot of liquids. I do a lot of the bitter herbs.
Mhm.
Drink it out. Drink it out.
Okay. So, would you consider like, because a lot of us women, well, I would say a lot of us African American women like to do a lot of self love. And what I mean by that is, we like to take a lot of mental breaks from our daily life, whether it's kids, marriage, boyfriend, whatever, work. Would you say that that's the same for you men, that y'all incorporate in your health lifestyles?
Um, take a lot of breaks. What you mean?
Like, as far as, sometimes you might need a mental break where you just, you're to yourself, you zone in and focus or meditate or however, whatever you like to do to get your mind back on track for your.
Yeah, definitely. In that zone of that train of thought, meditating or gym. Mostly men. That's a good source right there. Hitting the gym or doing some type of exercise. We see the world a little bit, a little bit more difference when we stick to purpose.
That's true. I
Yeah.
can get
So
with that.
sometimes you put it detached.
Okay. So I wanted to ask you about this because I know that Takao was on Bring the Pain. And y'all have like it's a little anniversary. It's been 28 years, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me ask you this. When y'all were making that track, how did y'all even come up with the thought of this track and how you wanted him on there? Like, how did this come about?
Well, bring the pain.
Uh-huh.
Well, I was in the studio. Things happen like this. It's just like it was there. You don't look for it. We was in the studio. We just working. Meth
Hmm.
is an amazing flower. Like I wanted to be Meth when I first started. You know what I mean? I wanted to kind of like flow like him, but I couldn't do it. It's like, I said, pie is a hotter curry. I said, so I would do that. I was kind of like imitating his flow, trying to do it like right on Gravediggers thing.
Hmm.
So he'd just be in the studio and I was there and he like, yo, Priest, come get on this hook. And it wasn't it wasn't champion. It was something different then. He had but he just wanted me to say something. I don't think I did it right.
Hmm.
Right.
Cool, cool. So, what is your creative process like overall when you're in the studio making an album? Like, what does Killer Priest do to get himself prepared?
Uh I like to stare. I do a lot of different tactics. I like to go in when I'm in the mood. It could be at any time. It could be at any time of day. But I just like to I don't know, I just get focused, a little bit of tea, a little bit of something. I like to take my time. I don't like to rush at too much. And that's how I get started.
Okay.
Sometimes I listen to the beat, sometimes I don't. A concept, it changes, it switches due to how I feel. But mostly beats do spark me to go ahead and go in.
Okay. Cool. Well, welcome back, Dr. Enqi. I'm gonna ask you the same thing I asked Tim because you also have your own platform. Could go ahead and describe your platform for those who are not familiar with your body of work?
Okay. My name is Dr. Enqi, obviously. I'm a naturopathic doctor, father of, well, I was about to say father of five. I'm a father of 10, but I'm raised five by
Mhm.
myself along with my puppy now. So I'm raising six, I guess. Um, Primarily, I specialize as a naturopathic doctor in diabetes and electromagnetic tissue, which is self um, tissue in the human body that produces its own energy. And that's probably, I mean, that's the largest, that's the largest component of what it is that I talk about on my platform is, healing people, raising my babies. And now there's a lot of, stuff with my puppy.
So I'm gonna ask you just exactly what I asked Killah. I asked him what kind of health advice he would give to our audience. I'm gonna ask you the same thing, being that you're also a holistic healer and whatnot. What is your best health advice that you would give?
In what scenario?
Just to our community, cater to our community. Because a lot of our community eats like pork and sugary stuff. What kind of advice would you give to them to kind of
don't get dead?
Oh my not don't get dead.
I mean, because you asking me like.
Let me put it like this. Last time we spoke,
right,
we kind of dabbled into diabetes. So let's gear towards that.
Well, I mean, I guess in general, I would tell people, I guess, to eat less. Like if I just simplified, I would say eat less. That would be my first, most simplest thing. And then my second thing would be exercise more. So if we put those two basic things in place, Killah is having a moment over
there. Yeah, my bag. I'm trying to get my camera right.
No, you good. But no, I was saying, just eat less, exercise more, put those two things in place, and then a lot of stuff will start working itself out. Like that's the most basic though, is just put those two things in place. Like stop being so poverty driven in terms of food. Like the people that struggle with their money, struggle with their bills, they come from a place of struggling, like myself. If you have children or if you have a pet or whatever, should they miss a meal, you beat yourself up, like super hyper, because of where we come from, people just think like missing a meal is like, what I'm saying? Like, but fasting is spiritual, and it's the most documented single thing that one person can do to extend their life. You know what I'm saying? Like, so just in a super general space, like that would be the beginning of the conversation.
Okay. So I know a lot of people were wondering, how did you two get paired up? Of course. So I want you guys to explain the business or nature of your relationship.
The business or the nature of y'all relationship. That sounded wildly professional and almost like investigative journalism type. Like that's the part right there. No, I'm just saying that's the part right there where we bring somebody in to tap you down and see if you're wearing a wire right there. Like that's the part right there. We gotta look at each other like I'm like. But no. Obviously, shout out to Do the Knowledge Radio, Knowledge Born. Shout out to Do the Knowledge Radio. Killah Priest obviously has a juggernaut of a platform, and saw what I was doing. Knowledge was, I guess, on him, like, yo, you gotta check out Enqi. I'm telling you, Enqi is, and
I was always a fan. I was always a fan. I saw Enqi getting busy a couple of times over there at Sinetta. I saw him dropping it on On Sonnet, I saw him dropping it like way back. And a couple of things, I was like, oh, one time I saw him zone out, and I was like, yo, this dude is incredible with the joint, right? So Knowledge Born just brought it back to Knowledge when Knowledge, he was like, yo, I manage Enqi, and I was like, what? Bring him over here now. That wasn't so hard to get, bro. It wasn't so hard to get.
Wow. Okay. Well, see, look, I learned more, but from my perspective, it's just like, Big Bro just was like, yo, we like what you're trying to do, and we want to help you, push it, so.
Indeed. So I heard that you guys are actually working on a new project together. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's gonna be insane.
Can we hear a little bit about that?
The Melanet Tour coming soon to a city near you.
Melanet Tour. Yeah, Melanet Tour. Yeah. Yeah. It's basically gonna be like I see it as like a change in hip hop, something to give brothers awareness that they never had awareness for. So it's like with Enqi coming with that science, and we doing it in rhythmic form, and it's just something gonna be crazy. And we're gonna we all God, so we gonna hit them like the natures, you know what I'm saying? So nature is nature. So we just bringing it back to where it all started from.
Right. So from what I heard, it's going to be like a hip hop and health type of tour.
Yeah.
So, which is amazing because if not, our community needs that. We do.
Yeah.
We need to start building the gaps, especially from hip hop and other things that are related to our community. So I think that's awesome, and I commend you guys on that.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
So do you know where this tour is going to start off at, or?
ATL.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're gonna hit Atlanta first.
Okay.
And then Knowledge got some other tricks up his sleeve. You know what I'm saying? But we're definitely going down to Atlanta very shortly here. I believe at the end of the month. And really start to just do this, get boots on the ground and really get to the people.
Cool. I want to ask about these two projects, two albums, Killah. I want to ask about Mother and Mr. Universe. Just give me some background on those two albums, like the story of you putting them together and the concept and everything.
No problem. Well, Mother was organic. It came from a deep place. You know what I mean? It was unexpected. It just happened. You know what I mean? So it was just like I just got serious because my mother had transitioned with the ancestors. Sorry. Everybody always trying to hit me when I'm going in. Nah, but so Mother was a project that just happened, and I just knew I had to do it. I had to do it because I had to see how I can convert what she meant to me into frequencies which I could never do, but I'll try my best. So that was more like the thought process of that is that I was just by myself and I was in a zone. Mr. Universe is something different. It's another frequency. It's coming off of that kind of pain into like what hip hop MCs know me for. So it's just getting into a vibe of just being lyrical, but also being aware of where we at and what time it is. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like I wanted to let everybody know that we are part of everything, and everything was a part of us. So that was Mr. Universe, and the time that it was made, a lot of it was made even before Mother. So we just pushed it together. It was something that was in the archives. So I just did a little couple more to it, and then that's how it happened. and from the pain of coming out of that plan. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I can say it, but you know what it was when we was all quarantined up. So
Uh-huh.
coming out of that is like we bigger than that. So that's how Mr.
Mm.
Cool. So let me, and this is question is for both of you men. Um, and we were just talking a little bit briefly about this before we went live, guys. How do you feel that social media has impacted not only both of you guys' platforms, but your goals of what you want to do for your community?
Or
Um, you know,
yeah, you take it. I just went.
for me, it for me it's been a relationship, an ongoing relationship. Me and the internet. At first it was just um, at first it was a utility.
Mm-hmm.
It allowed me to kind of because I was, a lot of people get conscious and get into this alternative health and research and all this kind of stuff online.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm the last generation of people that actually were there at the lecture or there when the person was delivering the speech or dropping the paper or the book or whatever, like where we really. So I was maybe working 9-10 hours a day trying to raise my babies, and then also sometimes doing 3-4-5 cities a month, um tour, doing lectures, so it was difficult. The internet allowed me to be able to, you know, multitask, so to speak. Stop running so hard and just reach more people from a central place. And then from there, I started to see a future where I could change how I was, like, my relationship with my children, and then spend more time with my babies. And
Killah, what about you?
Well, yeah, pretty much the same. It just gave me a voice because a lot of people knew me, but they never really seen me. You know what I mean? They knew me here, they hear the name, but it just gave me a chance to express what I've been expressing in the studio for a very long time, and
Mm-hmm.
to share. Like, yo, listen, man, I could talk. Yeah,
mm,
and it's like being in the studio a lot. Like Riz and all of them, they knew we always be building in studio and things of that nature. But when it came to like social media, it was always sought out. So it gave me a chance just to vent and in a therapeutic way. Also helped me out in a lot of ways that I did need it. Um, as far as thinking and making me like stick to something, dedicated to something. And it was good just having conversations, open dialogue about things that just be on your mind. It's therapeutic.
Cool. So, this question is again for both of you guys. Um, Let me see how I can word this. Okay, so in your genre of what you do, Dr. Enqi, who, if you could collaborate with any other activists to further push your goal of what you're trying to reach and do for your community, who would it be and why?
mm.
Preach. He already did it.
It would be Priest.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess I could consider myself in the music biz. You know what I'm saying? Because God is music. You know what I'm saying? Music is
Mhm.
God.
That is
So
true.
I channel that into every person that I work with. So
Mhm.
I guess we could say we're in the same genre, and by proxy, Killah Priest. So that way we could really get to and this is a real answer. Like we looking at a lot of we're looking at a lot of people, right? They're whether they are going to school,
Mm-hmm.
going to college, making the sacrifices to chase their money, go corporate, get promoted up through the ranks, do their thing. Whether you're dealing with people in the street, busting a gun, flipping money, chasing that way, or any other way. You make these sacrifices and you're hoping that if you're successful, you'll be able to enjoy the fruit of your labor. And now, as Black folks in America, we're starting to come into our own where we're getting millionaires and billionaires. And the problem is they don't know how to care for themselves. So we looking at, K Slay or Big Pun or this or that one, like that. It just continues to, go on. And the pandemic happened. You saw some of the athletes like, hey, I don't want to take the shot, whatever the case may be. But my phone ain't ring for them to come with the money and be like, hey, let's put this research and development together so we can create the alternative to the vaccine or fund back one you already had one. Like, so I'm just like, we just got to continue to come into our own. And, so I feel like Killah Priest is the perfect person in terms of his stature, how people respect his breadth of knowledge to help take this message to the world.
Cool. Killah, I'm assuming you would say Enqi as your answer.
Indeed. Indeed.
Tell us why you feel like that, though.
I think, well, I know the brother is very, very, very. I mean, as far as health, he got that. He went in. He got it. A lot of people talk it, but he knows what he's talking about,
He does.
he really, really does. And he say words that I never heard. It was like, what? Oh, I had to fix that. Word. And vitamins that, what I mean? It's like you always hear the vitamin C, but you don't know how, he explain. I like how he break down certain vitamins that go with these things. I mean, he talks about it, you know what I mean? He really, really get into it.
Right.
Makes sense. Like, we shouldn't be doing like things. I'm gonna tell you things like we shouldn't be doing the shots of stuff. I tell my seeds because of him. Don't do no shots of what's it? The apple cider vinegar.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Stop
He talks about that a lot.
Yeah,
a lot.
I've had a sister that watches the show that said, "Yo, I just stopped doing the apple shots when I heard Enqi say it." I was like, "There you go."
That's it.
Yeah, he does talk about that a lot. That diabetes. I mean, I can agree with both of y'all answers. One, because I've watched your show, Killah, and Enqi, you have been, like I said, to a family to this platform. So one thing about you is that I like personally is that you don't only talk about it and know about it, you live that lifestyle. And I love that about you. So, and that's a wonderful thing. What I want to ask both of you as well, how do you feel like both of your platforms and you coming together now is going to build the gap between what each of y'all do and the youngins?
Oh, I think it's perfect because, and what's crazy is that, God will throw you an alley-oop, like God will put you in a position and sometimes you trying to get into a position, and sometimes the world will get into a position for you. You know what I'm saying? Like between Ye and Kyrie,
Word.
the whole conversation that honestly, we got to go ahead and tap Nick Cannon because Nick Cannon started this, I guess.
Word.
But that conversation kind of created a vibe where people would be more receptive, because if you remember, see, I'm born the same year, 1977, as rap, in the exact same place. We born down the block from each other, same time. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then my pops was, big in the heroin universe, so I was at all the block parties, and I was one of the bad children that parents was respected enough that you like if I bumped the DJ table, the DJ would like, hold up, and then look and see me and be like, oh, hey, could you just move away? You know what I'm saying? Where if it was another kid, he might have threw something at him, you know what I'm saying? But so I was there the whole time, and it was always about knowledge. It was always about information. Somewhere along the lines, it became advantageous to go ahead and pull the knowledge out of the culture and change the culture into a death kind of culture, because we was already in a death culture kind of industry, and then rap came along to like add life, add fun, add dance, add socializing. Like now where neighborhoods, back-to-back projects, it's always a fight, or Halloween, we putting batteries in socks, going to different, across the street to, but this gave the neighborhoods like, okay, now you dancing against each other, or you beatboxing, or the WBLS vans used to like. So it was a lot that it came to the community with in terms of healing and information. But over time, it became advantageous for the people that were bankrolling the music, to take it into a different direction. So that kind of got pulled out. But the WU-TANG, their foundation has always been knowledge. So without even knowing it, what platform Killah Priest built was just like a natural extension of that into the new era of podcasting and YouTube, and like the Wu still leading at the forefront.
Right.
So it's really just the right time and the right climate to insert the knowledge of music back into music, so that we understand the reason why there's an idea such as culture, or reason why people would want to hijack this thing that we call and take it in one direction or another because of how powerful it is. You know what I'm saying? We was in junkyards back then when we made rap. When rap came out of the Bronx, we was in junkyards. Like,
yeah.
We was in junkyards. You know what I'm saying? With rats crawling all over. The rats are still there crawling all over. Like the rats never left. They got bigger.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Okay. Killah, do you have anything to add to that?
No, I think you said it. I think you kind of mastered it. I mean, kind of said it all.
So both of you guys have documentaries. Killah, I'm gonna start with you since he just finished off. Can you tell us about your documentary?
Well, it's gonna capture a lot of stuff that people didn't know about, and who didn't know me, know of me, or heard of me, and it's gonna capture a lot of writing processes, and I guess where I was at the time when I made Heavy Mental, starting from my genesis to where I'm at now. And, a lot of places I've been and met people, running into Tupac, and you know what I mean? Big, it's so much stuff to cover.
Okay. Enqi, what about you?
My documentary, American Healer, is all over the place. So just type in American Healer documentary, it'll come up for you. Check it out. It is it's a hip hop. Okay, see, here's the thing, right?
Go ahead, break it on down now.
No, because here's the problem with Dr. Enqi, quote unquote. I'm literally a one-of-one.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really have a predecessor. I have people that are predecessors in a, like I deal with the herbs, and so people are like, oh, okay, well, we know Dr. Sabi with herbs, but Dr. Sabi didn't really deal with like working out or with the hands-on with the, how I am with my children and the homeschool and the, and I don't recall any like personal training. Dr. Sabian with the athleticism and the sports and the. So I'm saying like my dynamic is just different. So I was shout out to Mr. G Photos. I had Mr. G come out to the crib, and he was filming a documentary for me. And he was like, bro, nobody would really understand. Like, nobody's going to really understand who you are because you got so much mixed up characters in, like you from 158th Street, you got that energy, the Bronx, but you're a dedicated father to the children and the and then also there's like, I'm also a domestic violence victim. You know what I'm saying? I've been in divorce court for 6 years. You know what I'm saying? Like I got so many different facets, and sometimes it's hard to manage. So he was just like, you need to put a documentary together where people can speak for you and talk about what it is that you do in your program and your day to day. And so it's basically like a collection of testimonies from, cancer survivors and diabetics and, people losing, 100 pounds, 200 pounds, just changing lives and just trying to lay a blueprint out to show people that they could do it. And then even showing people like me going out into the ocean to get the actual moss out of the ocean with my children in the boat, just the whole process, and just have people tell it from different perspectives and try to share as much of that as possible, because everything is, people are telling firsthand, but everything is also like when people watch it, they'll see that, we put the articles and the references and, the science there to make it a learning experience for the whole family.
Cool. So I wanted to, because I noticed you tapped a little bit, kind of glazed over about Yi and Kyrie, and I want to get both of y'all opinions on that. And when I mean opinions, Enqi, I do mean your honest opinion, because I know how you are. So let's start with Yi. What do you think about his whole situation, about him coming out saying, a lot of things about the industry and sacrifices and the Jewish anti-Semitic message? I mean, what do y'all think?
Hey, I think Ye is a strong man for coming out with his, stepping out. Inspirational.
So you're not on the train of you think he's crazy?
No.
Okay. And why do you say that?
Because it wasn't anything that he said that I didn't find. I'm not gonna say correct. I think the wording that people use when reacting or responding to Ye is what confuses people. Because if you go, I see where Ye is coming from, they automatically go, oh, he also must be anti-Semitic. You know what I'm saying? It's not being also anti-Semitic. It's just seeing how a person could come to a conclusion. So I don't think that, like, for instance, Dave Chappelle just did a monologue, and a lot of people now attacking Dave Chappelle. And really, the thing is, the Jewish people gotta really relax in minority voice. Like the white Jewish community has to relax. Okay, now here's what y'all can do.
Here we go.
Wait, this is what they could do. They could quit all them executive positions and let other people have those jobs and stop owning so much property. And then people will stop affiliating you guys with success. But I don't think that being so affiliated with success is such a high toxic poison that you gotta go into this. This thing where, like, Kyrie is almost fired from the NBA indefinitely until he completes a laundry list of, like, no, listen, the reality is the Holocaust they went through put them in a situation. Diamonds are made from pressure. The Holocaust they went through, they came out of that and just went into a whole nother level of taking care of their own. Nobody should be able to blame them. But on the flip side, you guys been kicking ass. Y'all been very successful. So people are gonna say they've been kicking ass. They're very successful. Like that's going to be associated with you guys now. So I think that Ye didn't say anything that wasn't, hasn't been, first of all, that hasn't been already said before.
Right.
And whether you agree with it or not, or think it's correct, it's all plausible. You know what I'm saying? At least as much as we can know, because as much as people commenting online, let me speak for myself. I know I haven't signed any $1 million or $1 billion contracts. So I don't actually know what it is, what Ye is talking about with these contracts. Like we don't know. And let me say this. The flip side to this is that everybody that we've heard make these complaints about the white Jewish people and the keeping of the contracts are all people that has, they become millionaires, and in Ye's case, a billionaire off of said contracts. So as a struggling father trying to take care of 5 kids, in my mind, I'm like, man, I sure could use one of those bad contracts right now to come through for me. If I could get that same contract that Ye signed, the bad one now, not the good one. I can find that same bad one that led to the 11 billion. Listen, that's so I'm just saying it's different perspectives. That's all. It's different perspectives in looking at it from. You know what I'm saying? Because some of us, we we got to figure out, okay, are we getting bread and we getting juice from the supermarket? And my man talking about at 11 billion, his contracts were short. I'm just trying to figure out, like, shit. How much was you short? Were you supposed to have 14 billion and you only had 11?
Right.
Like, I just, there's this levels to it, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I feel like Kyrie is different, though. I feel like Kyrie is changing the game more than Allen Iverson or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So I feel like Kyrie is going to be like, he's created a space for himself, because in sports, what the average person doesn't know is that they trade away a lot for that money. There's a big trade-off. They trade away a lot for that money. And, Allen Iverson took back his ability to to be himself, his personality for all of the players. So now they can dress how they want, wear their hair how they want, swag, drip, do their thing. I feel like Kyrie is doing that in a more important way because now it's bringing, like I said on my MDR news. And for the folks that have never seen MDR News, that's my platform, MDR News. Go check out MDR News. But I was just saying on MDR News, I said that Kyrie came out the closet. Now we need everybody to come out the closet. We need the intellectuals to come out the closet. And I think that he's creating a space where it's going to become okay to be intelligent. It's going to be okay to be, articulate and outspoken on specific subject matter. I think that LeBron has been good in general situations, and I think that he's been good at putting his money where his mouth is in terms of the community.
Right.
But I think that Kyrie is doing something different because he's opening up a lane where after this dust settles, it's going to be different. And I think they could put a situation together where they might be able to shut Nike down. They could make their own sneaker. Kyrie and Ye come together, make a sneaker and shut Nike down.
What do you think, Killah? What's your opinion on it?
Man, I think Enqi covered it. That was it. I mean, basically, that's it. Word. I feel the same way. Word. Guilty.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't understand myself why, LeBron, Shaq, and them kind of turned their back to Kyrie. It has been noted. So
I do.
I was a little surprised.
They're like, hold on. Oh, they're like, whoa. Ye just went from 11 billion to 400 million. He literally lost 11 billion, $10 billion in an afternoon.
What?
So I'm sure Shaq, LeBron, and Wu, they like, whoa, Kyrie, hey. They was that's when you're trying to blink at your homeboy, you blinking, but he's not catching the blink. Like you like, hey, and he's just like not catching the hint. Like that was one of those moments. I think. But like I said, what God's plan is goes beyond mortal understanding. So I don't think that Kyrie was in the spirit at that moment. I don't think he had control of himself. When you look at Ye is in a whole nother space. That boy Ye is just in a space. See, here's the thing. And people don't really understand.
Yeah, I'm gonna come back on. Just finish building. I'm gonna come back on.
Okay.
Real quick.
I think the problem is that people don't really understand initiation. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of black folks talk that shit, but they really scared of initiation. They got Illuminati shit in their mind. So everything is not always clear to everybody. You don't see with your eyes, you see with your mind. So if you don't understand, if you don't have knowledge of something, if you see a part of a thing, it just looks foreign to you. Right. So a part of graduating in certain spaces is about being able to be honest with yourself, honest with the people around you, and honest is very, very, very difficult in today's world.
That's true.
It's and people don't have to like make it a thing, but just try it in your own life. Like if you're watching this, just try it to wake up tomorrow and be like, you know what? Enqi is bugging. He don't know what he's talking about. It's easy. I always keep it real. Woo! Keeping it real and keeping it honest, two very different things. And if you try this for a day, 24 hours, to be honest, you will see that you damn near probably lose your relationship being honest. You know what I'm saying? You lose your friendships being honest. You might lose your job or your connect, the plug. You know what I'm saying? You might lose the plug. Like you will wind up seeing, you go through a course of a day and see how many opportune moments could you just let the unbridled truth just rip, just
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even just something simple as somebody asking you how you doing. Like,
Right.
people don't understand how crazy how you doing could be responded to sometime, because you really don't want a person to tell you how they're doing, because sometimes a person is like one step away from explosion. And you're like, how you doing? And they getting ready to hit you with the mother. Like, they getting ready to take all their negative energy and emotions and put that on you.
Yeah.
You're going to walk away from that person feeling the same depression and anxiety they felt.
And drained.
Coming to you. And drained, and they're gonna put all that anxiety and energy into you, and they're gonna walk away clean. Woo.
Right, because they didn't let loose.
Right, they didn't transfer it all. This energy is real; it's an actual thing. So they didn't
That
take it
is
all
true.
up out of it and transferred it. Woo. That's why you gotta be careful, you know, just kicking it with your people every day, because people get used to unloading. Like, man, yo, let me tell you what happened just near my job, or yo, let me tell you about this girl. Like, let me call you right back.
Right. And you just got to be careful about who you let in your inner circle too, because somebody that's always negative, that could be a heavy weight on you. Very heavy.
Well, Ye is in a space where, and that's what with money and success in some spaces brings you. You can take your mask off. The more successful you become, the wealthier you become, either one or both will allow you the ability to be more of who you already are. So like when people say money change people, money never changes anyone. What money does is it allows you to stop faking for the people who feelings you don't want to hurt. You don't want to hurt this person's feelings.
Right.
Or you need this person for that. So you don't want to start an argument with this person. Or you really want to tell such and such how you feel about them, but you don't want them to put you out the house. Or, you know, your teacher is, you know, halfway inappropriate, but, you know, you need that grade. And, you know, technically, like, just all of the different ways that you don't stand up for yourself and speak your truths, and just those things have a spiritual resonance. And, you know, so Ye has gotten to a space where, you know, the worst thing you could do to him was turn him into a 400 millionaire. So like they beat him down all the way down to that. That's what a totally whooped is. So he was correct in his assessment that you can't cancel. You know, if you 400 million liquid, hard, core, strong, where they could take away your business deals and all that, and you still that space, there's no reason why you should, outside of, you know, decency, that you would have to curb your tongue. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
now, Adidas tried to do him dirty, but it backfired.
Well,
kind of backfired on him, because they tried to still sell his brand, well, shoe anyway, without his name attached to it. But the clause in their contract, they would still have to pay him.
Correct. That's so. And look, Adidas tried to do Ye dirty, but Ye and his team, which includes white Jewish folks, was so clever that they put that contract together where Ye is protected.
Right.
So again, I'm just saying, Dr. Enqi, am looking for some of those bad contracts that keep making millionaires and billionaires out of black folks from the white Jewish community. I just want to let y'all know.
Say it louder for the people in the back that didn't hear you.
Man, feel free to get me together with some of them deals there that can get me into the ripped off billionaire club. I want to just be angry about my missing billions as I'm enjoying the current billions. I just, you know. that space.
Right. Huge point, though. Huge point. I mean, he's said that he's going to open up some stores, Yee stores, starting in Atlanta. More power to him. I wish him the best on that. I honestly do. So,
Well, I'll be honest, with 11 billion, I understand the contract stuff. Well, I don't, but I understand that he had some things lined up, but with 11 billion, you're not really, for stores to open up, you're not really dependent on waiting. You don't have to. I mean, you got the capital to just like, even though in the business world, capital is not really it. Capital is just like raw material. You still need the connections and the handshakes and the to facilitate overnight success. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's why you got artists that really know the business. They always go, nah, you need a major. You know what I'm saying? Because they know what it is. Major record labels are the radio station. So it's how that goes. And, you're in the majors, you're gonna get you some radio. They're gonna move that. They're gonna move them needles because that's their business. So you become a part of the system. Yeah. So.
Well, we'll see how it goes. I mean, like I said, he's trying to do stores, and then the mini city that he's trying to do called Ecosystem, and
anything he put his mind to, he's gonna do it at a high level. So, he's like a distant mentor of mine. You know what I'm saying? Like I get, Ye is always an inspirational figure for me.
Yeah. Agreed. I agree. I wish.
Even when they say he only worth 400 million, I don't think that's an accurate number, because if I'm in a business deal with somebody and based on that deal, there's $1 billion potential of earnings that's going to be generated by what transpires from that deal. If I am the person, like when that deal falls apart, right? If the deal doesn't go through, or it went through, but it fell apart, whatever. If I'm the person that walks away from the table after the deal goes bad, and I walk away from the table with whatever the thing is that was worth the value of the money, how do I lose net worth? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Meaning, Kanye came to the table with the audience, with the designing, with the intellectual property, the audience, the marketing, all that. When Adidas breaks up with him, they lose that, and Kanye takes that somewhere else. He doesn't, you know what I'm saying? Like he didn't lose anything. You know what I'm saying?
Like he said out his own mouth, he said he saved Adidas and Gap. He single-handedly saved them.
These are all facts.
And that he's not lying.
These are all facts.
Well, who was checking for Adidas before Yeezy?
And listen, let me tell you, to be honest, all those companies did was make him look more like, if anybody was on the sideline, like, I'm not sure if there's any validity to what Ye is saying. The moment all the companies jump out there and go crazy and all these other people, you go, oh, wow. These people all represent Jewish bosses and Jewish executives and Jewish partners. You know what I'm saying? So they got to respond in a certain way, where I'm going to be honest. I used to get a lot of shit from a lot of the brothers because I used to spend so much time with the quote unquote white Jewish community, especially in New York. I would see the Hebrew Israelite brothers on 125th, but none of them really knew Hebrew. None of them really had much of a library to study from. So in that time, I found like an unlimited just universe of knowledge and books, and like in Manhattan, it's in like the I don't even know. It's in like the 60s or maybe like the 90s, somewhere on Broadway. There's like a good 10 to 15 block radius where the white Jewish community is really strong over there. I forgot, I haven't been over there in so long. But they got like a good 4 or 5 bookstores that you would never exhaust. You would not exhaust if you into studying Hebrew and the Torah and like it. And I never had any issues with them. You know what I'm saying? They took me in. They used to let me, put my feet up and be myself in the store and like, yo, he's, but obviously after they test me a little bit when I first start coming around because obviously, how I look sometimes doesn't match,
who your character.
Yeah, it does. They don't always sync up. You know what I'm saying? So people make one assumption and go, "Oh, he's," and then we start talking, and they be like,
yeah.
So I started buying a lot of books there, having a lot of conversations with them, and then before you know it, you know what I'm saying, they start inviting me to other places, and so I never, I never even came across. I never even came across the set, but I would see people that wouldn't, that would, they put their note, So I've seen them folks, you know what I'm saying? So I know they, but there's so many white Jewish people that that I know for a fact, because I've had conversations with them, that they know that this is not really a wave of anti-Semitism. This is really more a wave of people saluting and acknowledging their hard work and success post-Holocaust. You know what I'm saying? Like they did what they were supposed to do for a group of people coming out of such a tragedy. You know what I'm saying? They was like, hey, we got to stick together. And they've been kicking ass ever since. Now, the problem is black folks, we haven't came out of our situation and said we got to stick together and get it together and woo, woo, woo. You know what I'm saying? I think we start.
Right.
I think maybe in 100 years from now, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe 50 years from now, we might have a little,
Yeah, maybe.
So we doing stuff. We moving. I think we're in the eye of the storm. I think our generations are making so much progress in the world that it's hard to see it in our lifetime. But I think if we look at how slow the other folks was, and we look at all the changes that we pushing the buck on right now, I think that we're doing, as a group, I think we're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody though, not just black folks, like everybody. I think, even white folks, even, the old white men club, you know what I'm saying? Like even they, like I think everybody I think we're moving in the right direction. We just got to get how we treat the earth. I think we're working on a lot of different things, but we need to work on the relationship a little bit more. How we treat the earth, how we treat the planet.
That's true. Very true.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. Well, let me ask Killah because you're like family to the platform. So let me ask Killah this. So, and I ask everybody this question that comes on here. Tomorrow's not promised. We never know when we're going to be taken from this earth. The day that you do leave, let's just say hypothetically speaking, what would you want your legacy to be known for?
See,
that's a hell of a question.
Yeah. I gotta pull up around the mental taste buds for a minute. Let me see how. What my legacy would be. That I came. Let me see. That's hard, man. That I came, saw, conquered, and stand up, and I was a part of the evolving.
Okay, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good one.
Winged.
So we're gonna wrap this up, guys. But before we go, I want each of y'all to let the audience know where we could view your documentaries, any books y'all have, your platforms. I'm gonna let y'all use this time.
Well, you can catch me. You can catch me on the Real Killer Priest. No, not the, but just Real Killer Priest on IG, and you can catch my documentary coming out soon. It's not out yet, but you're gonna catch it on killerpriest.tv. That's my website. And also, you catch me twice every week on Killer Priest Podcraft, where we have open discussions about about each and everything. You know,
Where the gods be building that.
yeah, the gods be building that. Word. Yeah.
All right, Enqi, what about you?
DrEnqi.com. Don't forget to refresh the payment screen. Yeah, don't get to the payment screen and then be like, wait, it's not letting me into my card info. Just refresh the payment screen. Dr. Enqi everywhere, like Dr. Enqi _did on IG, patreon.com/Dr. Enqi, $ Minister Enqi for Cash App Store. That's still before I got certified as a naturopathic doctor. I was still just minister.
Cool. So please, guys, go over to their platforms. I promise you, you won't be disappointed. Like, they are a whole nother vibe. I'm trying to tell y'all.
You're gonna get that Killer Priest, Mr. Universe, and Mother.
That too. Make sure y'all tap in with. Let me just say this. For one, thank you, Killah, for coming on the platform. You know, you're a legend in your own right. And we want to thank you for taking out the time to even come and build with us on this platform. So thank you. And Enqi, you know, we always love to have you up here.
All right, y'all.
All right, y'all have a good night, and we'll see y'all Friday night.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Ryan
sir.
Toby from
Coming
City
soon
High.
to a city near you. NPR News.
All right, y'all have a good night.